Welcome to the Fathergamer podcast.
Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm gonna kill you, dude. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you. Don't do that to me. Give me a minute. Hey, everybody, and God damn it, now you keep losing my. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 90 of the Fathergamer podcast. This is episode 90, Mike. Episode 90. I cannot believe we've actually gotten here. The monumental 90. We're 10 away from 100.
Finally.
Which is 100 away from 200. and then so forth and so on. So, no, yeah, finally, technically, I think this is actually probably, if you go off of the old shows and all of the sub shows and all that stuff, we probably are at episode 200. But of this version of the Fathergamer podcast, this is episode 90. We're not like some weird anime that has been redone for like the third time. We're not not Metal Gear, but Full Metal Alchemist. We're like done three times, as it were, but twice. I know.
They've also got the live action, so technically three.
Technically three times. So so I'm not even going to get into that. That's a whole anime fandom is like every time I say okay, I don't want to piss off a specific fandom. I find another one that I'm a little more afraid of, and anime fandom is clearly one of the ones that I'm the most afraid of. Like they're up in the top like 2 or 3 of fandoms that I'm afraid of. So,
right.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Gibbs, also known as the Fathergamer. With us, we have Mike, Silverhawks, No Valves Petty.
Yo.
My trusty dusty companion on the road to fandom. We talk about, in case you haven't listened to us before, we talk about everything nerdy, geeky, fun. It has Fathergamer, as in gamer in the title, but we talk about everything to do with fandom, whether it be comic books, movies, television shows, or everything that falls in the cracks between. So, it's just a fun ride of us talking about the things that really excite us and make us happy in this crazy world that we live in.
Is it though? Is it
crazy? Yes,
fun?
it's crazy. Fun. There are days. You know what? I consider myself incredibly lucky that I have been able to do this with, not just with you, but in general, that I've been able to do this for so long, and I've had, I've had the ability to find people that have found a passion of some kind to help do this with me, and so I'm very grateful to all of the many hands that have. Hey, it sounds gross. Touched the Fathergamer podcast, but I'm very grateful that we're back, and
yeah, same.
We've talked at length about being away for almost 3 years, and so for us to have technically our third episode back.
Yes.
It's just
that we're recording 2 days after the last one.
Yeah, well, I love how you inside baseball everybody for us, but it makes me happy that we're keeping to a schedule, and we're damn it, we're gonna stick to it no matter if whatever happens, we're gonna do our damnedest.
Exactly.
to stick to a schedule. So, you know, my next big thing with the show is I'm really, really hoping that we start getting interviews up again, because I miss those. Those are so much fun. Having another person in on that's not somebody that I know, talking to you all the time. No, but I mean, actually having people on and talking about the process of making something, a game, a movie, a comic book, whatever it is, and talking about their trials and tribulations of creating stuff it's fun. That's just fun to talk to people that have, well, you know, quote, done it. They've actually made a movie. They've actually made a comic, and it's a lot to sit here and to talk about. Well, I love this show, or I like that show, and oh my god, I wish they would have done this with that show, or with this movie, or this game. But until you've actually done it, yes, you can complain. Yes, you can say what you like, but to me, there's a little more validity in it until you've actually done it, or you know how the process works. And so it's fun to have those people in to talk about. It's also, you know, we've been lucky enough to have people come on and talk about, yes, their game, but then they'll turn around and talk about, oh my god, have you seen this movie? And you're like, oh my god, you know, this person likes the same stuff I like. So episode 90, buddy. I'm so glad we're here. Let's go into, I guess let's go into our socials talk.
Okay.
Our socials talk. We talk about, you know, what's going on in the world of Fathergamer and of Silverhawks and of Fathergamer Productions and all of our, you know, all of the many little like social media things that we do. Right now, still not that much. Other than our TikToks, we've been posting a few here or there. Mike and I are desperately, probably more me. I
Your
feel
side,
like
yeah.
I'm the crazy pinky in the brain. I feel like the brain part of this, where I'm just like, you know, I've got to figure out the formula on TikTok. Like, I'm just sitting there, and it made me even more just furious. So I did this 3-part, like all my costumes that I have of DC characters in Fortnite. I did this. I thought it was pretty fun run through of each character's costume and different elements to the costumes. I didn't get as in depth as I would have liked, and in the future I probably will go a little more in depth on certain stuff. And right after I posted it, this is 2 things that happened. Right after I posted it, Epic Games announced that they brought back the DC characters back for a few days that you can buy. So I thought that was really funny. It felt like I did some kind of marketing for Epic Games, because there had been no talk about their DC characters on Epic stuff, because it's all been Marvel because of the tie-in to the comics and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was crazy that happened.
So that was funny. After. That automatically was just funny. Just like, okay, that happened. And then I worked really hard to get these things out on TikTok, and then right afterwards, I post 2 or 3 just off the wall things. I'm just sitting around in my living room. I saw that on my playlist, it put Umbrella Academy right next to the new Resident Evil TV series. And I thought, oh, that's funny, because, you know, the Umbrella Corporation was the evil corporation that created the zombies in Resident Evil. That's
right, yeah.
And so I was like, okay, Netflix algorithm, you have a sense of humor. We get it. We get it. That's funny. That's great. So I posted that one. It gets really good reviews, really good likes and loves and all this kind of stuff. I spent hours going through and doing all of these
The other
DC
stuff.
characters. These 3 parts took days for me to get it done, and I get about a half of as many likes as I did in that 30 seconds that I did to record.
Just the one little clip,
just
the one
little
picture.
thing on Netflix, and then there was another one that I did where I threw one of those concussion grenade things on and Fortnite at you, and it exploded you out. And I did something from SpongeBob, and that thing got just as many almost views as the other one, and that literally took me 30 seconds to do too.
Which I liked the audio of the SpongeBob and Patrick with that clip better than I liked the other one. Not the umbrella, but the other social that you did.
Oh yeah, well, I did that one more out of a FU to certain people, but that's the thing is on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram stuff, there's a few more. I would say if you get to know me a little bit more, stuff in my Instagram, not quite personal. They're not quite Facebook personal level, but they're a little more personal on my Instagram.
Right.
TikTok, that's for everybody. That's just to have fun. And same thing with you. I imagine you're kind of the same.
Yeah.
I know your TikTok is Silverhawks, no vowels, just like your Instagram as well, if I'm correct. And as well as your Twitter. But my Twitter is not. My Twitter is the real Eric Gibbs. Yes, because my Twitter got hacked. My @Fathergamer got hacked, and Twitter keeps telling me that they will change it. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. But the reason I mention all these social stuff and we talk about this stuff is as we go forward, doing the Fathergamer stuff and doing all of this in general is, would I like to click on TikTok and have, something that gets me 10 million views? Of course I would. Everybody wants that ego boost. But what I would really more like is for me to click on and every day see more and more people start to follow and start to communicate with us.
Right.
So that we can have discussions, so that we can feel like we're building this giant family to talk about, fan culture and to talk about the stuff that we really love. And that's, to me, that's more important than getting some million viewed, thing of me throwing a freaking stink bomb at you inside a portal potty, which is coming probably, by the way. But
the stink arrows,
or whatever it is. Yeah. I'm talking in real life, Mike. I'm not. I'm being honest here that you probably will just have to watch yourself. But I would. You
can always just bottle up the farts and then throw the farts at me.
Yes, because just like in episode 1 of our episode 87.
Was it 87 or 88? No, I guess it was 87, yeah.
Episode 87. Yeah, we have to go back to that. I think you'll be interested with this week's WTF, cool. By the way. But our big thing is we really, really would love to have a discussion with all of the listeners and really build up quite a community. I think that's the thing that would make me the happiest, is to just have a place that we can all go and talk and keep a-holes out as much as possible, other than myself, because I can be an a-hole. I mean, today I told you.
Yeah.
I am an a-hole, but I am a lovable a-hole. Today I did the most in Fortnite By the way, you know what?
Yeah.
That's enough socials. Let's get into Fortnite talk. Fortnite talk. That's our Fortnite talk thing for right this second. In Fortnite, not much is going on as far as stories, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty much, we're in a placeholder time period. We're like 30 days till the next Vibin mission. I don't know.
Long.
Yeah, especially since the season doesn't end till the season ends in September. So, we're kind of, I wouldn't say right in the middle of the season, but we're pretty close to the middle of the season. So, generally, sometime right around now, there's something big. Something big is going to happen. You can see the vines from the tree are starting to grow out incredibly far now. I'm noticing cars are starting to get wrapped up in some of the vines and some of the curly Q things.
And there's also some smaller plants and other things around that have these like veiny tendrils going into them, and they're pulsating.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing some very interesting stuff going on the island, and
there's an update tonight.
A big update tonight, and I'm really curious. The second issue of the crossover comic is been shipped, so we don't know exactly what's happened yet. But any day now, that part of the story should be out, and the first issue was kind of a lead up to whatever's going to happen in the comics.
I should be getting it Tuesday.
I'm hoping, and so I'm guessing. My biggest guess is the connective tissues between the comic and the game will start happening in the next week or so. I would figure, because especially since the very first issue, like I said before, was more of a, last time on Fortnite kind of thing. So, and as someone who's gone back and reread the DC comics, that run, I'm really excited to see. I hope to God we get a very, very cohesive, tied in connection with the comics and the game. That's, I mean, I don't want people that didn't read the comics to be like, "Aw," but I do kind of want them to be that way as well. I would like there to be some story,
right?
That definitely gives us, one, makes us feel great for buying the comic, but two, gives a future in other means of storytelling in the Fortnite universe. Because I quite frankly, there's no way like that they couldn't do an animated series or something. Like it needs it. This world could be played with for quite a bit if they really put the money and time in it. And they have the money, so it's more of the time and the effort into it. So you and I both did something, kind of, I don't know, I thought it was kind of interesting. As both of us as fans of Fortnite, we decided to put together a list of characters that we would like to see in Fortnite, in some capacity. And it could be, whether it be like Doctor Who, where it was just a spray, or a special little area, but something that just says, "Hey, Doctor Who is here," kind of thing. Or they even have K-pop people, and they're not running around shooting as characters, but you can get their dance moves and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
it could be some kind of tie-in, and that's something that I would be down to see for several characters and franchises
Mm-hmm.
in fandom. And so you gave a list and I gave a list, and I kind of wanted to see which ones would be the same and which ones, and then I forgot to do my list, and I did mine after, so I could actually make my list basically not the ones that you chose. So now we just have extra people on our list. So,
well, one of them though, I know that you had already talked about with me before. Yeah. So if you want to mention it, you can.
Which one was that one? You're gonna have to tell me.
Turtles.
Oh yeah, TMNT. Okay. There has TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if you don't know, have been in several things, and that's the thing we're going to talk about as well, because I wanted to make this not just about Fortnite, but just about these characters in video games as well. Mm-hmm. So right now we have a as it seems, fairly decent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game out that's out right now. The Shredder's Revenge,
yeah,
which is a game that's in the same vein as the original arcade games. Mm-hmm. It's getting pretty decent reviews. Really excited to play it myself. I have a limited run copy coming to me whenever my copy will come out, but there's no telling with limited run, unfortunately. But
I mean, they do give a date. It's just a matter of manufacturing.
Yeah, but it could be
several months from now.
Yeah, I'm hearing, because it's already out and such, that we're going to get it by August, which that would be really cool, but we'll see. Yeah. We shall see. But Ninja Turtles have been, they've had Ninja Turtles games all the way back to the original NES. If I remember correctly, there might even be an Atari Ninja Turtles game. I might be wrong on this, but I could have sworn there was one.
You might be right on that.
But the Ninja Turtles games that most people remember are the ones that are in the coming up Cowabunga collection, which will be coming sometime this year. That are the arcade games and somewhat the original NES game. I wasn't a huge fan of that game when it came out, but I know it had a lot of followers. But the arcade games, those games, I sunk so many quarters into machines when they were at the arcade. And then when the Nintendo Entertainment, the original NES version came out, I played that game. Oh, I played that game to the point that it almost broke.
I was going to say mine had issues, yeah.
And it came
so often.
And it came with a personal pan pizza coupon from Pizza Hut, which I found a copy of the game a few years ago, and it still has that coupon. And if you get the limited run version of the game, it has a coupon for a personal pan pizza to Pizza Hut in it. And I was just like, thank you for doing something like that. That is the member berry straight to the heart. But these are great characters that just haven't really gotten a lot of love other than the occasional game here or there, and they have been not great games past a certain point. We haven't gotten a lot of really good Ninja Turtles games. I say the best interpretation of them in the digital format is probably the Ninja Turtles in the DC fight 'em. The DC, I always forget the name of that game, but the made by the Mortal Kombat group.
Yeah,
Injustice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtles in that are fantastically
I was gonna say, they
done.
look amazing. Yeah,
it is such a great, especially if you turn around and play it on next gen, where it's up-resed and just smooth and just perfect, and it just makes you go, why aren't we getting at least a version of the current upcoming Shredder's Revenge? Why aren't we getting a game that looks like these Ninja Turtles set in a side-scrolling beat 'em up in that kind of, like, I want to see a beautiful Ninja Turtles game, and it's not impossible. It's not asking too much.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's definitely needed. Come on, people. Give me some Ninja Turtles love. And, we've got a new movie coming out. Seth Rogen's company has it coming out soon, and so hopefully maybe there's hope. We'll get something soon. My bet, though, is the best Ninja Turtles game we're going to get for a very long time is probably Shredder's Revenge. So, and that's not terrible. It's just not entirely what I wanted. So, the next one on the list, on your side of things, is He-Man. I am a huge Masters of the Universe fan, like gargantuanly huge. Like right now, I'm sitting next to a pretty decent sized Masters of the Universe collection. Like I love the old stuff. I love the new stuff. I even love the Kevin Smith stuff that came out recently. So bugger off, people that didn't like it. I thought the character designs are perfect. I think, especially using those character designs would be really amazing for something they could do for Fortnite or for a game, anything to do inside of the thing. The problem has always been He-Man suffers from the same issue that Superman suffers from. He can do everything. And when you create a character like that, when you make them think, okay, this character is invulnerable, this character, like, how do we add the play factor to this? How do we make him, and this isn't in Fortnite, because in Fortnite they have Superman running around with a gun. So I mean, that's neither here nor there. So it can be done. It's just outside of Fortnite, why haven't we gotten more games within the Masters of the Universe genre?
Right.
Like, it just, and that goes back to, again, there was an Atari Masters of the Universe game. There has been the possibilities of a good Masters game for years, and that's the sad thing. There wasn't a good NES or Super Nintendo Masters game.
It's always just been the dolls, or I say dolls, the figures, and
I was about to say,
the cartoons, and some comics.
Oh no, there's been lots of comics.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of comics, but
there's never really been a game.
There's been a few. They just haven't been very good.
Yeah.
There was I think the last one that came out was a mobile game, and it wasn't what I wanted. Let's put it that way. And so, I would absolutely love myself a God of War Masters of the Universe game.
Mm-hmm.
You have the characters, you have the dynamic, you have you even have the outline right there. Just look at God of War. Make a slightly older a He-Man and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a little bit of little bit of heft to the story, because I'm sorry, but most of the people that are there, and they've proven this, most of the people that give a crap about He-Man, with the exception of some of the brand new series, because there actually was 2 series that just came out recently.
Yes,
there was the
pretty much back to
Kevin's literally within a couple months.
Yeah,
there was the Kevin Smith series, which is a continuation of the original Masters of the Universe series, and then there was essentially He-Man and his friends animated series, both for Netflix,
set in the future.
Set in the future.
In their future,
it's its own
universe. Yeah,
universe. Yeah, and I wanted to hate it. Because I just wanted to.
I still haven't finished it yet.
For what it is, it was fine.
Yeah,
and it's sort of like the She-Ra series. There was a She-Ra animated series that was for Netflix that ran like 6 seasons or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I wanted to dislike it just because it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you go back and you look at the original Masters of the Universe cartoons.
It's hard to hold up.
Oh, they're rough.
Yeah.
They're rough. And you go back and look at She-Ra.
We'll
get into that in a second. But you look at She-Ra. Oh my God. It runs into a lot of issues. And I felt like the She-Ra TV series, the recent one, I felt like it tackled a lot of subject matter that was in, especially if you go back and rewatch the original She-Ra show, you think, okay, I think everyone has a few thoughts about certain characters, and they go ahead and just basically answer the question. And I like that, and I'm fine with that, and I wish to God people would be okay with some of the answers, and just enjoy a show for what it is, and enjoy that we're all a little different, and we all live on this planet, and we all need to be able to enjoy things. And so it's just sad when people's politics and get in the way of enjoying fandom. And that's some of the issue that happened with She-Ra. And by the way, as you mentioned, He-Man or Master of the Universe, I wouldn't mind seeing some She-Ra, especially some of the new She-Ra.
She's in the same vein. Yeah.
In the either a game or in the Fortnite universe, I think that would be really fun to see. I would like also them to get back to having the areas on the map that are themed towards these things. They have the Daily Bugle, but they used to have a lot more of those, where there was like where the Daily Bugle is now. They had Gotham City, but they had the stuff from like from several different franchises. They would have little areas. They had one with where you would go into just that area, and all of a sudden you would turn like cell shaded. Do you remember that one?
Barely.
Yeah, they had different areas that would do certain things that were all themed around different franchises, and I would really love them to do that. Now, one of mine, I'm going to go ahead and move over to one of mine right quick, is Judge Dredd.
Yes.
That is a no-brainer.
That's definitely a no-brainer.
And the only reason I feel like he hasn't been able to move over is one, there's no telling. They just did a crossover, a little one with Call of Duty recently, and which is one of the only reasons I went back onto Call of Duty for just a second was so that I could download the skin.
Exactly.
And then they turned around and like a couple months later did a Godzilla.
That's right. Yeah.
Godzilla versus King Kong thing.
Yeah.
So I could play as Judge Dredd hunting Godzilla and King Kong. It was great. I was just like, I have a lot of video. I took probably 60, 70 gigs of video because it was just like, oh, this is never going to happen again. So I need to be able to have proof that at some point, Judge Dredd is trying to shoot Godzilla in the face. And so, but Judge Dredd, if you don't know who he is a law enforcement agent from the future in an area called Mega City 1. The world has basically gone to shit. And the world is broken up into these giant mega cities. And he has been around for roughly 40 years, something like that. If I remember correctly, I think he's almost the same age as me.
Yeah.
And right now I'm looking at a signed copy of one of my Judge Dredd comics. Yes, I have one of the two creators, a signed copy I'm very proud of.
Is that
but
the one
anyway,
that shipped you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much love that game. But the main game, that comic. But the comic is the series that Judge Dredd comes from is called 2000 AD. A company called Rebellion actually publishes 2000 AD. You might recognize Rebellion from the Sniper Elite games, and they've made
Zombie Army as well.
Zombie Army, and they've made Strange Brigade and a few other really fun games. I absolutely love the multiplayer aspect of most of their games. They're just so much fun to jump on and play, and for them to own a comic book company, a production company, because they're working on a Strontium Dog, which is another character. They're working on a movie based on that, and they're working on a TV series based on Mega City, which is a Judge Dredd anthology series.
Nice.
They're working on all of this stuff, yet we don't have a Judge Dredd game, a current gen Judge Dredd game. There was one that came out for the original Xbox. That was the last real Judge Dredd game. And yet we've only really gotten, a skin in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, there is a list of all of these great 2000 AD characters. And like I said, the comic book has been around forever.
And they barely scratched the surface on it.
And it's an anthology series, so there are all of these different characters that have these very long-lasting fandoms and these great aesthetics that would totally work within the Fortnite universe. Like they could actually make an entire 2000 AD section in the map of Fortnite, and it would be amazing. And they could even have guns and finally give us a motorcycle so we could have Judge Dredd running around on his motorcycle, and like, let's just do it right. Like, give us some comic book characters that aren't Marvel and DC. Like, and this wasn't in the thing in our list originally, but like, Hellboy or the Savage Dragon or Spawn or any of those characters.
Yes. All those, yes.
All deserving of games by themselves. But they could at least give us some badassdom in the middle of our Fortnite experience.
Yes.
Another character within that realm with a comic character is the Rocketeer.
Yes.
Rocketeer. We've got jetpacks. We've got guns. We've got all. That would be fantastic. I don't need to go too much into it because it is what it is. But and then one that you brought up was Thundercats.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Thundercats, and I do agree with you. I would love a Thundercats. Thundercats is one of those things that aesthetically it still holds up.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the aesthetics, some of the stuff still holds up very well. It is not that great of a show. Just to go back and rewatch
the original one. No, it's about as bad as He-Man going and rewatching.
Yeah, I would say
worse.
almost worse. Yeah, I was gonna say if not worse.
Yeah,
and I love both of which. He-Man more, but I do love both of them, and I have some amazing Thundercat action figures and comics and everything. But
now I will say the Netflix TV show was great.
Are you talking about the last animated series of Thundercats? That wasn't Netflix. That was actually, I can't remember who it was, but I understand why it was. I think it was Fox Kids or something like that. It was on
Netflix.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't Netflix, but it doesn't really matter.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm dumb. Cartoon Network.
Yes. I
am so stupid. Yeah, Cartoon Network.
That's stupid. You're just arguing with me.
Yeah.
But who's full of useless knowledge? Who is full of?
Yeah, Cartoon Network. Sorry.
But yeah, and we got one season, and
unfortunately,
and it was just, I enjoyed it. It's sort of like we only got 2 seasons of the Masters of the Universe 2000-ish series, and I enjoyed that as well.
At least I don't.
Why? That was really good.
Oh, wait. Okay, that wasn't the one where he had a ponytail, is it?
No.
Okay, good. The one with the ponytail, we don't speak of.
No, that one was terrible. No. There was a 2000 plus series. I don't remember. No, there was like one that was like in the 90s.
Yeah.
That he had a ponytail. It's sort of like the extreme. It's sort of like the extreme Ghostbusters time period.
He was so skinny, and he didn't change at all. All he had was a freaking ponytail.
No, that was the same time period where everybody had ponytails. Like Clark Kent and Superman had a ponytail.
That's true.
Everybody had a ponytail at that time period. I had a ponytail at that time period. Not kidding. Totally did have a ponytail. Yeah, you didn't because you weren't one of the cool kids, but I did. I had a ponytail, but it because I remembered it was on Cartoon Network. But but anyway, I would love to see Thundercats. I would love to see just an 80s line of Fortnite characters, like as a group, just like He-Man. Lion-O and all that kind of stuff, and then maybe even a human with a bunch of a human with a bunch of Transformer like merchandise on them.
Exactly, yeah.
Like I don't know, one of the custom skins that looks sort of like it's the gun from Megatron, or totally go Captain N. If people remember, where he's got the clicker gun, the gun from the Duck Hunt,
the Zapper,
and all that, the Zapper. Thank you, and. Even if they can't make the game, make it work in the game, as far as putting the character in there, usable item. Like, you're not going to make Transformers, but you could definitely use like an Autobots T-shirt, like a Jonesy with a bunch of Autobot stuff on him,
exactly.
Or what's the
back
golden?
blings.
Yeah, or back blings. The golden guy, he could, I always forget his Midas, with a whole bunch of Megatron and Decepticon stuff. Like, you could have
that would actually be kind of cool. Yeah.
You could even invent a couple characters that are like super nerdy 80s stuff. Like, I mean, they could even have an entire storyline where like some kid's imagination from the 80s is exploded and freaking like 80s and 90s crap is everywhere. I mean, there's so much stuff, and that's the fun thing where you and I love Fortnite so much is yes, it has its issues, but we can run around and be Batman and piss off people like I did today. Oh my God, I had so much fun today. And I will mention this before we go. We've got a few other things. We'll finish off that particular segment. But there was this kid. I decided to dress up like Batman and run around and play the Nirvana song that they play in the Batman. I was playing it over and over again and driving him nuts and yelling that I need justice. And everyone else in the group just loved the fact that I was just driving this kid slowly insane. And he was like, change the song. And I changed it to Bat Dance. And he went even more, like, he sunk deep. Like, I'm pretty sure I created the next Batman villain at this point. And then I ended things off with the Batman 66 theme song, and he pretty much rage quit at that point. So, yeah. But anyway, so, going back on the thing of characters and stuff that may not work as individual characters and whatnot, you put Voltron. They kind of have their own little Voltron aesthetic, with the current, where that last gen ended, where we all were parts of, that thing. I could see them doing a Voltron, but I almost willing to bet you if they do a Voltron, we're going to get like the aesthetic of it, like some stickers or something like that. I Visionaries, that would be interesting.
Yeah. With the little holographic stomach area piece.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If we're doing that, we're doing muscle and all those other stuff too. But they're never going to do it for our lives because they don't love us enough. Come on. Enough money has been sunk in. They should make a few characters. Now, you said Spy versus Spy. I could totally see that.
That would be hilarious, yeah.
I could see an updated, but I think they've almost kind of did. They did an entire Spy season, which was in the very first. I always forget what they're calling him, but not season, but the very first grouping of Fortnite. They did a entire season of spies,
like
and
the noir stuff. Right.
They kind of did that, but I would love to actually see with the pointy noses, the whole Mad Magazine.
Exactly.
That would be kind of fun.
Even the character from Mad Magazine, like the actual
Alfred
mascot,
E. Newman.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Oh,
to have
that would be terrifying. You would have to shoot it in the face. Alfred E. Newman is one of the most horrifying and terrifying. Like, they just made, they have that new Winnie the Pooh horror movie coming out. Yeah. I think a far scarier movie would be a live action Alfred E. Newman horror movie. I think that would be more terrifying.
Amazing.
That's nightmares come from that.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be amazing.
Now Star Trek would be another one that you put, and that's one that was on my list. I feel like they could do it. They've
already got the Vulcan salute, so
yeah, they've already done. Like, they give us a little bit and then they take it away.
Yeah,
but with so much Star Trek stuff on Paramount Plus, and with you know, the amazing, Discovery got a pretty nice reception, but oh my god, the reception that Strange New Worlds has gotten is, I'm so happy that people are loving that show. I love that show. Like,
it's
if
amazing.
you haven't watched it, if you are a Star Trek fan, Strange New World is like, it is probably the best Star Trek we have gotten in a very long time. And again, I love Discovery, and I really love a lot of the like what's the animated the comedy one that right now?
Lower Decks.
Sorry?
Lower Decks.
Yeah, Lower Decks. Absolutely love that show. Like, that show is perfect for what it is. I watch it, like, I'll rewatch an episode 2 or 3 times. It makes me laugh, and I just absolutely love it. Would I love to see some Fortnite stuff or games based around it? That'd be great. But oh my god, the Strange New World, like, it's Strange New Worlds, or is it World or World? I always get confused. Worlds, thank you. Yeah. I always go through the thing in my head of what he says, but I was making sure. Strange New Worlds is without a doubt the most friendly to a game or to anything like that that we've got in a long time. Like, you could totally have a action game within that world, and it fit just perfectly. Or you could have like the new game series that's coming out that is like a Telltale game, and it would work just fine. Like, it fits that dynamic of a Star Trek world just perfectly, and I am so absolutely excited whether we get a game or if we get anything else inside Fortnite. I am so excited for that series. Like, between that and a couple of the Star Trek things, Star Wars things, franchises, I'm so excited.
Now that I'm thinking about that, I want to see Pike's hair in Fortnite.
Yeah, well, it would just be spiky. It would just be like, a
little bit elaborated, even more than it is.
Now I'm going to go to the two last things because we need to move on. Because this section went a little bit farther than I thought it would go. G.I. Joe.
Yes.
G.I. Joe, which we've already seen.
Snake Eyes.
But I would love to see Cobra Commander, Destro, all that kind of stuff. I didn't realize this up until Ross, our buddy Ross, and I were doing our show, the Creative Ramble. I didn't realize how it really wasn't that show's just not quite as popular outside of the U.S. as it is here. With the exception of the movies, it's just not as popular as a show. I think it might fight some of the same issues that, let's say, a Judge Dredd might fight over here, because over here, not as many people know Judge Dredd other than the god-awful Sylvester Stallone movie or that really amazing Dredd movie that came out a few years ago.
Yes.
And as a longtime Dredd fan, I won't get into the Sylvester Stallone one too much. At some point, we will have a discussion about this, but not today. Not today. I also have one other thing too, is the Nintendo characters. Now we've seen different various video game characters in Fortnite. We've seen We've seen Aloy, we've seen stuff from Marvel. I mean, it's not from Marvel. Some stuff from Sony. We've seen quite a few characters from Sony, and we've seen Master Chief from Halo.
Mm-hmm.
We have not seen anything specifically from Nintendo. Understandably, Nintendo probably does not want Mario running around shooting people in the face.
Exactly.
And even Link, it doesn't really fit that well.
Yeah.
But there are a few characters that it does fit very well. Samus from Metroid being probably one of the best. I think everyone around pretty much, okay, Samus is she's a mercenary. That's fine. Give her a freaking gun. Put a storyline. Let her go hunt a xenomorph. That's perfect. We could even have, that would be fun to actually even have an area that deals with Metroid.
Mm-hmm. Have Metroids and also Ripley show up.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And then the only other character I can think of, in listeners, if you have any questions or comments or anything at all to do with this subject, please hit us up on our socials, because I would love to hear from you as well. But one of the last ones that I had, not the last, but one of the last ones I had was Star Fox. I think Star Fox, that could fit. He has a gun.
He does have one, yeah.
It would work. I could work. But my very last one, other than Gundam, which I think Gundam kind of fits into that, okay, we could have like aesthetic or whatnot.
Exactly. The same thing with Voltron, yeah.
Marvel Zombies.
Yes, please.
Okay. We have a Marvel Zombies animated show coming.
Mm-hmm.
We have... There's been comics for a decade plus now already.
Yeah.
But we already have the zombies, the regular Marvel characters done in the game. Just zombify them. Just give us some Marvel zombies. I would love me a Marvel Captain America. A zombie Captain America or whatever. Just give us some Marvel zombies. That would be so much fun. They could even do a entire Marvel Zombies takeover thing. Crossover would be fantastic.
That would be an amazing season.
Marvel, we did Epic, we've done your job for you.
Exactly.
Just bring us on board and we'll go ahead and stuff. So that was a good 30 minutes of us talking about Fortnite, but I tried to connect it with other things other than just Fortnite, just talking about video games. And what we're probably going to do. Thank you. What we're probably going to do, unless something big comes along with Fortnite from now on, unless listeners would like otherwise, we'll probably skip every couple episodes and talk about Fortnite then.
Sounds good to me.
And that way, there's a little less Fortnite talk. Yeah. Just because I don't want to alienate everybody.
Exactly.
Now, the next thing for us to talk about is we're going to do something we haven't done in a while, is get into Talk Nerdy to Me.
Talk nerdy to me.
Yes, that sweet, hopefully music bumper area thingamabob sound effect is right there if you found it. If not, it's nerdy to me, which was actually my wife recording that, so which has a whole different feeling that I get. So,
is it a banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Yes, absolutely. Is that an emoji? So I finished off Stranger Things season 4.
Nice.
It took forever, and it's not because it wasn't good. It was because it is very long episodes, and my wife has zero attention span. She loved it. I loved it. oh dear Lord, was it good? I'm not going to spoil it, even though the internet is terrible right now about spoilers. One particular character, I stayed really good away from spoilers, and literally 10 minutes before I saw it, I happened to stumble on a spoiler about something that happens to this particular character.
Oh no.
Literally 10 minutes before. And I was like, thank you, world. Thank you for doing that to me. But anyway, this is what I would like to say, because I know you have not seen, and you finished. You were like 2 seasons behind,
yes.
Which just blasphemy on you. The very first season of Stranger Things was, while being very much a something that's reminiscent of stuff that we've seen before, did a very good job in feeling unique, even though it was clearly an homage to the 80s and 2 80s movies, and it did a very good job. The second season was bogged down by a lot of world building, and it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't as good as the first season. And again, I think a lot of the reason the second season had so many issues was that it was just completely bogged down with the fact that they were going, okay, this is a hit. We are going to go way farther than we thought we originally were going to go. Because I think they even thought that they were going to maybe only do 2 seasons at the most. And so, you watch it and you're like, okay, why is the second season just feel like they're just so different? And second season has some great scenes in it and some great moments. And you start to see Steve change. And, he's such a great character. I don't know if you remember who Steve was, but he was the dick in the first season.
Yeah.
And you get to know the characters, and I think that is the best part of season 2. But some of the characters do things in season 2 that you're just kind of scratch your head going, okay, why are they acting this way? Season 3, it's like they actually, it's like when a developer actually listens to the client or listens to the player,
right?
And make something that people, for the most part, enjoy. And that's how I felt about season 3. Season 3 did a really good job of doing what people really wanted, I feel like, in the series. And I really enjoyed it. And so when I heard season 4 was finally coming, I was actually excited. If you had asked me when season 3 was about to come out, I was not as excited. I will say, I will completely say that. So season 4 is coming. I'm excited. I watched that first episode of season 4, and I was just like, one, holy shit, this episode is long. But it's not bad, but like, holy shit. And then I start looking at the episode count for each episode of season 4. And I'm like, okay, one, they're doing streaming like you're supposed to. They don't care. It's not, there's no commercials. So they can do it as long as they want. And as long as they have the budget.
Right.
And if you're the number 1 hit on Netflix, I would assume you would have the biggest budget.
Right.
Well, they definitely have the biggest budget, and they were allowed to do with as long as they wanted to, because holy shit, there's episodes that are literally 2.5 hours long.
Wow.
Like, I've never seen an episode of anything that is longer than a freaking, like,
that's crazy,
than a long movie.
Yeah.
Like it's the actual season finale is like 2.5 hours long, and you're just like, holy shit, this is as long as a long Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. And then what's even better is you're watching it and you're like, I kind of don't want this to end.
Right.
And that's, that's a testament to anything. It is when you go, okay, it's long, but it doesn't feel long.
Right.
And so I'm not going to get too far into this because I would like you to see it at some point. You and I will have a discussion about it, but or I will have somebody on that is a big fan, or maybe somebody from the show, or somebody. I will have somebody on, and we will have a very lengthy, detailed discussion about season 4 or the entire show as a whole. But I would like to say, holy fuck. Thank you. That was amazing. That was a great bit of entertainment that I am floored with, and I'm still floored with their casting department for picking some of the best child actors I have ever seen. Flat out, hands down. So they are fucking amazing, and I am just blown away by how amazing that show was, and how it played out, and the fact that there is so much practical effects going on is just amazing, and I'm very happy that we were lucky enough to get a season of a show like this. And so far, it's theirs to fuck up at this point. Season 5 is it, and it is their show to fuck up at this point. They have set it up, they've gotten it ready, and if they fuck it up, it's on them. Because it is without a doubt one of the best things I have ever seen on TV, and I'm very proud that we are living in a time that is so fucked up, but they can give us such great TV. So thank you to the Duffer Brothers, and thank you to Sean Levy, and thank you to the cast and crew for giving me one freaking hell of a ride for this season. And I guess in 16 years, whenever we get the next season, the last season, because Jesus, if they were 2.5 hours for some of the episodes for this season, I have no idea what we're looking at for next season. So that, they basically made 9 movies,
right?
Is what it almost feels like. I think the shortest episode was like an hour and a half long or something like that. Like that's crazy. I mean, I would have never thought I would have seen TV like that. But, my wife and I had a huge discussion the other day. What is TV anymore? Like, what is that? Does that even mean anymore? Like, will we be calling things TV in the next 20 years? Like, will it have a different name?
Smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision. But what I mean is, like, we'll
shout out to Batman. Yeah.
And Futurama.
That's true.
But I without a doubt absolutely love that show. So I'm very happy that we got something great like that. Another talk nerdy thing to me is Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn, and Ryan Gosling are in a movie coming out relatively soon, from what I understand.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Called the Barbie movie. I would have never thought that I would have sit here going, you know what, I'm kind of excited about the Barbie movie. Really? And here's the reason why. I'm going to try to sell you on what I've heard. Okay. And I've heard from several different people to watch out for this movie. One, it's not what you think it is. It is kind of a mindfuck, which
okay.
Oh my god, that's great. Like I'm great. I'm great for that. I'm hearing, and this is actually from people that are in the know, that it is designed to screw with your mind a little bit, but also it shows that, you know, having everything, having wealth, having all that is not always the best thing in the planet, is not exactly what you always. You don't always need to be the richest person or have the best car or have this or that. There's more to life than this. And apparently Ryan Gosling's Ken, because apparently there might be more than one Ken in Barbie.
Right.
His Ken is miserable. It is going through a mid-Ken crisis. And that sounds...
It doesn't surprise me.
No. I mean, how else are you going to get Ryan Gosling? Like,
right.
If you think about it, Margot Robbie, she's a great actress, but of course she's going to go, yes, I'll be Barbie. Like, of course she will.
Yeah.
But how do you get somebody like Ryan Gosling as frickin' Ken? There's got to be something more to it rather than just being, hi, I'm Ken.
Right.
I mean, the last person that we've got to play Ken was Batman himself. Michael Keaton did Ken's voice, if I remember correctly, in the Toy Story movies.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay.
If I remember correctly. And he was slightly sadistic, if I remember correctly. But I might be right. I might be wrong on this, but again, things happen and people sleep and they forget things. But, you know, it is... it does sound like something that
might be worth watching.
You know, there's a lot of movies lately that I've watched recently that I would have never thought I would like or would be on my list of things that I want to see. I mean, heck, we got within a 2-week window, we got that movie with Nick Cage, where he plays himself. I never can get the name of that movie right, but it was amazing. And then the Everything Everywhere All at Once, we got that, literally both movies within like a couple weeks window, and you try to explain those to the average person. And they're like, no. And those are two of my favorite movies in the last like 5-6 years.
Which I still need to watch both.
Oh, they're great. They're absolutely great. Hey, you have access to my Voodoo account.
That's
they're both
true.
on.
Yes, I do.
So, in moving on the gaming side, we haven't done much on the gaming side of the stuff. We'll get more into the gaming news in the coming weeks. Now, there's a PlayStation Plus, that's the big thing that PlayStation's been doing for a while. They've been doing PlayStation Plus, but now they have the PlayStation Plus Premium or whatever the hell they want to call it. Well, they have made a deal apparently with Ubisoft, which let's be honest, Ubisoft loves to make deals with all game companies. Like, they love to put their game on anything they can put it on.
Flaws and
pretty
all.
much, yeah, pretty much every Assassin's Creed game right now, you can already get the Viking one. Pretty much every Assassin's Creed game will be available after I believe the 19th of this
is what you wrote, yeah.
Which is crazy. So you'll be able to go and you pay $20 and you're already able to get like 100 plus games you're able to play.
And that's just on the PlayStation Plus Premium, or is that on the one that they have like with the streaming service built in?
I believe it's that kind of they have 3 tiers.
It's like several tiers, yeah.
Yeah, there's the regular PlayStation Plus, which I don't know if they still call that PlayStation Plus
it
or
is,
PlayStation. Yeah. And then they've got they have a second tier, which is the I'm too poor to get the next tier up tier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't remember what that's called, but I think that's like I'm $4 short of actually having
the other
good
one.
games tier.
Yeah,
and then there's the $17.99 a month one, which I don't know what the equivalent is for our UK friends, but it already has some pretty decent games. There actually are a few games coming to it in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The one where you're the cat.
Yes.
I can't remember
Stray.
the name of that. Stray. I am so looking forward to that game.
Yeah.
That game just looks absolutely my cup of tea. And there's a few other games that are going to be coming out to that soon. So I'm really looking forward to getting those on my playlist. But the fact that if you haven't played Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, Unity, Rogue Remastered, and then, all the little DLC stuff and whatnot. Dude, that's a lot of gaming. That's a lot of gaming right there that you can play, and it is highly, highly recommended if you're a fan of Assassin's Creed to play all those games. And I don't know. I just don't see a reason right now if you have a PlayStation, unless you're broke, which a lot of us are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not though to pick up, because it's cheaper than buying more games.
Right.
It really is. And if you're going to be playing games like Stray and whatnot, pick yourself up a copy of it. I mean, it's only $5-6. It's only like $7-8 more a month than paying for the other. And I don't know. I hate to be a salesman for Sony or for whoever, but right now it's so expensive to buy games. Like right now, I've absolutely been wanting a copy of Sniper Elite 5 for the PS5, and I cannot for the love of me afford $60. Like, I don't have it after having the being hit by the drunk driver and all that. We have been absolutely broke. There's no way in hell that I can turn around and spend $60 on a brand new game, unless it's just something that I just can't live without. And I would love to buy that game. I love that series, but unfortunately I just cannot afford it. But it makes it a little bit easier if I spend that $7 extra a month, because I'm gonna let's face it, I play online. I have to get the PlayStation Plus. If I'm spending $7-8 more a month, I'm getting, all the Assassin's Creed collection. I'm getting, all these really cool games. I might as well. It's just on the Xbox. I mean, the Xbox, the Game Pass is still to this day one of the best. Is one of the best things that you can get in gaming. It's just so much content for so little cost. So I don't know. Just my 2 cents. But I do know being broke is a horrible feeling, and we all need ways to stretch our money. And maybe that's something that we can come up with in the foreseeable future, come up with games within these collections that will just help you stretch that dollar just a little bit, or whatever your denomination is, stretch it out just a little bit, because it's bad out there. Oh, on a side note, because we're getting close to the end of the show, but on a side note, last week you and I were talking about how bad the heat was here.
Yes.
And how our UK friends just, just like parents, they wouldn't understand. I
shout out Will Smith.
Yeah, I absolutely feel bad for you guys right now, because it is horrible in the UK. It is almost the equivalent to, it's not quite as hot as it is here, but the difference here, we all have ACs. There, they do not. And
wow.
Yeah. So I've been hearing people, I've been seeing forecast of it being in the 40s, which that's not much different than it is here.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine going through that heat wave right now without central AC. That just seems absolutely miserable.
That's going to be messed up, yeah.
My UK and European friends that are going through such horrible times in the heat, I feel so absolutely horrible for you. Also, for anybody who just happens to take a listen to us and is over in certain areas that are war torn right now, I hope to God you find something to take your mind, at least for a while, if it's this podcast or a game or a conversation or a book. Yeah. That's what these things are for, and that's what I hope to God you're able to do. So
much love to y'all.
Yeah, much love, so much love from us, because it is a crazy time out there, and unfortunately, we are living in the middle of history. And it is, sometimes people are lucky and get through life and not really have to feel like they're living in the middle of history. Well, we are. Unfortunately, we're smack dab of living in the middle of history, and all of you amazing people out there, I hope that you find something that can bring you happiness and get you through these rough and troubled times. Agreed. But one of the games that I did want to recommend, I cannot say the name of the game very well. I'm really shitty with saying the names of things like this, because not only are dyslexia, it really throws me off, but the Arcadian?
Arcadegeddon, I think.
Arcadegeddon, yes. Arcadegeddon.
I
need to hear someone say it. And before I can really but I have legitimately issues with
that one's a hard one, yeah.
With that one, and so my dyslexia really throws me off.
Yeah, Arcadegeddon.
I want us. This is our homework. This is part of our homework for our next episode.
Agreed. Let's do this.
I've played, probably sunk about 2 hours into it. Okay. I would love for you to sink some time into it to catch up.
Yes.
And maybe we can get a few other people to play with us.
I definitely want to play it.
I'm pretty sure it's free to play as long as your PlayStation Plus.
It's on the PlayStation Plus, yeah.
I have totally enjoyed it. And it's pretty well polished. And it's really fun to play with a group, because I've gotten with a couple random groups, but I think it would be a lot more fun with a group of people I know, and also for us to sit down and try to figure out the mechanics just a little bit more. I think would be some fun. So, can you say it for me one more time for me, buddy?
Arcadegeddon.
Arcadegeddon. We will definitely. That's going to be our homework assignment. And listeners out there, if you can pick up a copy, listen and play it, and we can all talk about it just a little bit more. So. The last thing, we're going to probably put a bunch of other stuff that was on our list because we're getting pretty late. We're going to put a bunch of stuff on our list for the next podcast. But
sounds good.
There is one last thing that I do really, really, really want to talk about. And this will be our very last thing for this episode is Miss Marvel.
Yes.
I loved it. Now, I understand that it is different.
Yes.
I understand that. Before, I don't know if you liked it as much as I did.
I enjoyed every minute of it.
Okay, good.
The only caveat is what we'll probably discuss in a couple seconds.
You and I are probably one of the, in our group, I know I definitely was one of the first Miss Marvel fans in my group, but you were definitely in the top probably 2 or 3.
I was going to say 2 or 3 at that point.
If I remember correctly, one of our old people on the show gave you a copy of the original comics to read pretty early on. And because I think they were still in the first run.
They were, They had not been traded back yet. Yeah.
And I was lucky enough. I picked up issue number 1 just on a whim, and loved it. Loved the fact that it was different. That the fact that it was a lifestyle. It was a group of people that I didn't grow up around. I've had Muslim friends. I've had, I've been around when I worked at Disney. We had a lot of classes on a lot of things teaching us about Muslim culture to kind of help us understand how things work. And I took it upon myself to read different religious text and stuff like that, just to understand. But as a whole, as a kid growing up in the Panhandle of Texas, I didn't know a lot of Muslim people. That's the first thing. Also, didn't know a lot of Pakistani people. So it's always nice to me when you get the same kind of story, the same coming of age story of a superhero, of the thing that you've seen with the Peter Parkers or we've seen this. We've seen the smart teenager become the superhero. We've seen that before. So what makes it different? What makes it something unique? Part of it is her family. It is unique from the normal stuff. Like she said in the show, it's not normally it's not the brown girl from Jersey City who saves the day and who's the hero. And it's true in most comics. You don't see that. And so it's nice to see somebody that, yes, it's nice for people to see characters that are representative of themselves. But to me, it's just as important for people to see representation of people that are not like yourself.
Right.
That live a different lifestyle, that have a different point of view, that live differently as a whole. But at the same time, she might live differently, but she's just as nerdy. Yeah. She loves the same stuff. She's as big an MCU fan as we are. The only difference is the MCU is real in her world.
Right.
And so I love that. And I also have to give a huge shout out to especially the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've seen a lot of very unique ways that they have done text
Mm-hmm.
in movies and TV shows when someone is reading something on a cell phone. I've seen some pretty great ways for people to do it, but in this show, especially that first episode, oh my god, they were doing, the ways they were using it was amazing. And her imagination, I don't know if you noticed this, her imagination went from this crazy, everything was her slipping into some kind of imaginative fugue state.
Mm-hmm.
She would go into, like, her, I'm assuming, counselor was like, hey, it's been 13 seconds and you're already, like, not paying attention. What the frick is going on?
Yeah, that was the counselor, yeah. Actually, it might have been the principal.
It never really said if he was the principal or the counselor, but he was somebody.
Yeah.
And you see that, but then as soon as she gets her powers, that shit goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't need it anymore. Yeah. She doesn't need, and that,
she is what she imagined.
Exactly. So awesome.
Yeah.
Like little bitty, like we used to say at Disney, the plussing, like to plus things. So many little pluses in this show that I just found it just absolutely amazing and loving and showing her family and the dynamic of the family and keeping it relatively intact with a combination of the comics.
Yeah.
And
they did a really good job with that.
I would say the video game. Like they do a very big, I would say, a cross between the video game and the comics. Mm-hmm. Like some of the characters, it feels like there's a derivative from the game. Like her dad feels a little closer to the game version of, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, the game, the Marvel Avengers game that came out a year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever, however long it's been now. The story mode essentially was a Miss Marvel story, which kind of came out of left field. It was like, wait a minute, what? We're getting a Miss Marvel? And it's two people that are huge Miss Marvel fans. It was just like, yes, thank you, and can I have another?
Right?
Like, because we got that, and then within then less than a year, we got the Guardians, Amazing Guardians game, and I was like, okay, just keep giving us these amazing, like, single player stories on multiplayer on Avengers. We'll get into that some other day. But I just absolutely loved it. Yes, again, they changed something very big. And I don't understand a few things, why they have a really hard time with her being a what's it called?
Inhuman.
Thank you. I couldn't even remember it. They have this really, like, anything connected to a certain time period within the TV universe.
Yeah.
Because of the dynamic that was going on. At least this is how it feels. The dynamic that was going on at the time within Disney. There was a huge time. There was this huge kerfuffle that was going on during the Inhuman time period when they were, they were in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They tried the one and done TV series, you noticed that like they didn't really want to do the Inhuman thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was even at one point going to be an Inhumans movie,
right?
And they just didn't really want to do the Inhuman things. You could tell there was one particular thing that they wanted to do and they couldn't, but they were just kind of buying their time.
Yeah.
And during this show, and this is going to be a spoiler, so in just a second, plug your ears, and I'll give you
la 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 la
3 minutes. I'll give you I'm starting right now. I'll give you 3 minutes, and then come back. 1, 2, 3. Okay, spoilers. Okay, they make her not an Inhuman, but they make her a mutant. Which I love the throwback to the 97 riff, like the song, which apparently from here on out, that is the Mutant song. Like they will probably, they played a little bit of it in Doctor Strange. If you notice when they show when Xavier rolls into the room, they play a little bit of the 97
yeah,
and they played a little bit of that.
But we didn't know this though until the last episode.
Well, yeah. But the fact that they basically said, okay, she's not going to have the same powers,
right?
Entirely.
Yeah, because she's got the powers of the Jinn in the entire series.
And she's also going to, but apparently that entire thing it's because she's a mutant.
She has the added, she's not only a Jinn, but she has a mutation.
Well, I have a feeling that they're basically going to.
They're
just all mutants. They're just all mutants, or they're Inhuman, or
this is my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
At some point. Because on the last episode, because again, this is spoilers, on the last episode, she was able to embiggen with her current powers, with the bangle. So, but at the very end,
that's the thing is, I don't think the bangle does anything anymore.
Not
I think
anymore,
the bangle,
no, it's coming from inside her now. Yes.
Yeah, which to activate her like that is an Inhuman thing,
right?
So exactly. that's what's really weird.
But now
we're coming in on 3 minutes. We're gonna have to get at this.
Now that she doesn't need the bangle anymore, she'll be able to embiggen her body naturally instead of using that glowing power.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's going to happen, and she's going to become the Inhuman that we all know from the comic.
So, but is she an Inhuman, or is she? Well, she's obviously a mutant because they wouldn't use.
She said, power. Yeah, exactly. They did say that she has a mutation. So
they would not use that rift, though.
Correct.
They would not use that rift because one, it's money, and two, that's now the thing. So 3 minutes, so no more of that talk.
Yeah,
but overall, absolutely, without a doubt, was a charming, lovely, very much a trip down normal lane of, we've seen it before. There are definitely moments where it did feel like, okay, I've seen this before. Mm-hmm. But because of the new cast, because of all the new stuff going on, it was nice to see the 16 Candles type stuff done with a group of people that, I don't know a lot about. And the big thing, to me, one of the biggest walkaways, one of the biggest things that they did for humanity was show the partition.
Mm-hmm.
How many people in this world had no freaking clue what happened during that time period? And, most people have no idea how horrible that time was.
Yeah.
and to show it and do it in a way that sci-fi and fantasy always does best, by showing it through the lens of fantasy, but making sure people realize this was real, and how horrible it was, but it's more digestible that way.
Right.
And maybe now there are people that are oh my God, was this real? And they go searching it, and then find YouTube clips, and then find this and find that. And that's really what I'm hoping comes from this show, aside from, how exciting the Marvels show is going to be. Like, I can't wait for that. Like, the fact that we're going to get, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Monica Rambeau, in a movie together, I'm pretty excited for. And it's all tying into the Secret Invasion stuff, which has been brewing, and I'm just I know, and this is what I think we're going to talk about on the next episode of the Fathergamer podcast, episode 91, coming to you in 1 week. I think a big topic we're going to talk about is the future of the MCU and Marvel, and where it's headed. And I think that's a very important thing for us to talk about, especially since we're all big fans. And, it's, to some of us, it's headed in a very lukewarm direction because we don't know where it's going. Yeah. But to me personally, and let people just kind of digest this a little bit for the next week, I feel like we're headed towards phase 2 of the original phase. If you really remember, phase 2 was lackluster. A lot of phase 2 stuff, and we didn't really know where it was headed entirely. Like, we had an idea, but I think until we start seeing, Fantastic Four hanging out, and what's Blade doing? Are we doing Midnight Suns? Are we doing, or what are we going to do? Until we kind of know that context, are we going to see, what the stuff that happened in Loki? Like, how much is that? How big is that in the grand scheme of thing? Which I'm pretty sure is pretty huge. I have a
feeling it's going to be huge. Yeah.
Like how American Chavez, she's not a throwaway
really want
character.
To see her. Yes.
100%.
We need to see her again.
There's so many characters and so many moments. I will admit there is a lot of TV and stuff going on that we don't really understand it right now. But I think that's the biggest issue everyone's having, is just the fact that we don't know where it's heading, and you don't see the Infinity Gauntlet type scenario yet. And so I'm really hoping that hopefully within the next year, we really see that loop and where it's headed. And, as we're about to leave this episode, I will say there's one last thing. So there is a TV show called You. I don't know if you are familiar with it, Mike, but listeners out there, probably a lot of them are. And I am a fan of said show. There is a huge talk about the star from You playing Mr. Fantastic.
Okay. I have not seen the show yet myself.
I'm not big on that. And again, we will talk about that. But if you listen to this episode, I would like to know, other than a certain someone, Krasinski, who played Mr. Fantastic and the Multitude of Madness, which was personally my favorite choice.
I was gonna say he needs to come back as
I would personally like him as Mr. Fantastic. I've seen a lot of hate in that direction. I haven't quite understood why, but I've seen it. But I would really like to see what everyone else thinks out there. So, okay, everybody, that has been a very long episode of episode 90 of the Fathergamer podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everybody. I'm so glad we are back. I will eventually stop saying that, but until I do, thank you for listening. Thank you for following myself on all of my socials at Fathergamer on everything but Twitter, and that is at The Real Eric Gibbs, or you can follow Mike at Silverhawks No Vowels on everything social media. You can also pick up the podcast on everywhere that podcasts are. Please like, follow, listen, and share. Share is a very nice thing. Sharing is caring. Also, do your best and do me a favor. Please go out there, achieve some greatness, and try to do your best and make this world a better place than when you found it. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.